I am joined with Ryan Nelson from Dellenbach Motors, and he's going to tell us a bit about the Chevy Bolt, which is involved in our Group Buy program.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Ryan, and we're taking a closer look at the 2020 Chevy Bolt EV. So this is a pretty powerful car, has 260 foot-pounds of torque with 200 horsepower, also has a maximum range of 259 miles. And one of the cool things about this Bolt is it charges super fast. You have DC fast charging provisions here, so you can get 100 miles of charge in 30 minutes, essentially charging the whole car at 80% an hour. This specific model is a Premier, so it's the top trim level, and it also has the Driver Confidence 2 safety package on there. So you have low-speed forward braking for automobiles and passengers as well. It also has rear cross-traffic alert, side blind zone alert, and lane keep assist. So it's a super safe car, really efficient. I also think one of the most attractive things about owning an electric vehicle is the low maintenance. You don't have any oil changes, of course you don't have any gas. Your first real maintenance, major maintenance visit is going to be at 150,000 miles to clean out the coolant reservoirs in the vehicle. At first glance, the vehicle does look pretty compact, but that's one of my favorite things about it is it has quite a bit of room for the occupants, and it has 56.6 cubic feet of cargo space behind the second row. So it's a pretty capable vehicle, and you can do a lot of things with it, whether it's off-road or just in city driving. So let's take a closer look inside. As you can see, it has the interior protection package, so you do have the all-weather floor liners. And then in the Premier, you get this extra storage space and cover. So if you need to, you have room for first aid kits, anything you might be taking to the lake, groceries. And then it also has the sunshade here to protect whatever you do have stored in the cargo area here. One thing I really like as well is you can lay these seats pretty flat here. So if you do have to make room for extra storage, or for whatever reason, if you had to sleep in the back, that's an option as well. Since the battery is horizontal on the floor, it does open up a lot of space for the occupants in the vehicle. So as you can see back here, there's quite a bit of space, so if you have larger people in the back of the car, there's plenty of leg room.
And with the battery, you said being positioned the way it is, how does that affect winter driving?
It actually helps out a lot. It gives it a lower center of gravity, so the vehicle's not as top heavy. And as long as you have good tires, that extra weight from the battery really helps the vehicle grip the road. And it actually makes it very safe in the winter. And it's also front wheel drive too, so you do have the extra weight of the drivetrain and the motor over the front wheel and the front axle. So they've done really well in the winter, just got to have good winter tires.
Yeah, absolutely, like any Coloradoan.
Yep.
Perfect. And can we check out the front of the vehicle as well, where the engine is currently, or what's going on up there?
Absolutely. So I want to start by showing you this. This is the charging port here. So this will be for your level 1 and level 2 chargers. We always recommend getting a level 2 charger. That'll charge your vehicle about 25 miles every hour with a maximum charge time of 10 hours on a dead battery. This is going to be your DC fast charging provision here. So that's one whole unit. It is commercial grade only, but like I said before, that's going to charge your whole vehicle at 80% in 1 hour. So that's the most efficient way to charge it. And obviously more and more of those commercial charging stations are popping up across Colorado, so it's a lot easier to get your charging done.
And you can easily get a level 2 just in your own garage or at your house, correct?
Yep, there's a bunch of different options. I know the one we sell in our parts department is a good option. You'd have to have an electrician come in and wire it into a 220 outlet. But yeah, there's all kinds of different options for the level 2 charger.
Yeah, and the level 1 is just a regular standard size outlet, so that's always an option if you want to trickle charge overnight.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. And then the front here, this is pretty interesting to look at the components of the vehicle. So these are the 3 reservoirs that you'll change out at 150,000 miles.
I imagine you just save so much money not needing to change out anything really other than tires, brakes, and then these fluids. So
Yeah, and if you buy a new vehicle, a new Chevy Bolt from Dellenbach Motors, we pay for all the tire rotations for life on the vehicle.
Oh.
So we cover that one maintenance fact for you. And other than that, you just have the cabin air filter and topping off the fluids and brakes. So.
Oh wow, that's great to know. Perfect. Well, let's check out the inside.
Yeah.
What is your favorite thing about this EV?
I like a lot of things about the Chevy Bolt, but I think my favorite thing is driving it. Just having, 260 foot-pounds of torque and the 200 horsepower available as soon as you hit the accelerator, I think is the funnest thing about the vehicles. So it's definitely the performance. And at the same time, with the performance, it's nice to have the safety features that are available in it as well. So
yeah, those are two really great features of this vehicle. Is there anything else you want to show us right up here in front in the dashboard?
yeah, so this is really important. So you have your regenerative braking paddle right here on the left side of the steering wheel. So that'll actually act as a brake if you want to stop the vehicle. Instead of hitting the actual brake pedal itself, you'll just depress the regenerative braking paddle here. And it'll bring you to a complete stop, and of course it'll turn the brake lights on so people behind you know you're stopping. And that's going to give you a more consistent draw and the most power back in the battery as opposed to using the brake pedal, which tends to bring you to a stop quicker.
So it's the most efficient way to get the most range from the battery, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. With that being said, they also have what's called one pedal driving. So if you put it in the low mode, which will activate the one pedal driving, as soon as you take your foot off the accelerator, it'll automatically apply the regenerative brakes and bring you to a stop. Now you can use that one pedal driving in tandem with the regenerative paddle here, and you'll actually get 70 kilowatts of power while you're doing that, which is the most efficient way to charge the battery, even on top of, or more efficient than the DC fast charger. So,
Oh, wow.
So driving style really plays a big part in preserving your battery life and getting the most you can out of your range. So they warranty the battery for 8 years and 100,000 miles. So that's covered that whole time. And then of course you have your 3-year, 36,000 mile bumper to bumper warranty, which is pretty standard across most makes of vehicles. So
Okay, great. Well, let's take a drive.
let's do it.
Ryan, do you want to tell us about the $12,000 off and some of those discounts people can get if they stop by today?
Yeah, so there's actually some really great discounts right now for the 2020 Chevy Bolt. You can get up to $12,000 off sticker price through November. $4,000 of that's included as a tax rebate from the state of Colorado, which is only good till the end of the year. But now General Motors is actually giving you that credit up front as opposed to having to wait for your taxes. So it's a really good program to take advantage of. And we want to see you guys come in and take advantage of it before it runs out at the end of the year.
And I'm seeing too, the rearview mirror, you were saying some things about some of these cool cameras that the Bolt has. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so this is kind of like another safety feature here. This is the rear view camera mirror. So if you have tall occupants or a lot of a big load in the back seat there and you can't see in your rear view mirror, this gives you another angle other than the backup camera as to what's behind you, so you can see it even if your view is obstructed.
So when you're reversing, you'll have both the backup camera that's on the dash and then you'll also have that on your rearview mirror.
Yeah, so you'll actually have the backup camera, which is a totally different lens than the rear view camera mirror. And let me just show you now, you'll also get a bird's eye view of the vehicle. So it actually shows you what's over the top of you, and then you can also see behind you. So
that's a really awesome feature.
Has some really good camera angles.
Definitely increases safety too. Well, that's great. Thanks for taking us around. It's been a really smooth drive, a lot of quick acceleration due to the electric vehicle. But y'all should swing by Dellenbach and check it out while we have our group buy throughout November of 2020.
Yeah, and if you want any more information, you can go to dellenbachmotors.com or just come on down to Dellenbach and schedule a test drive.
All right, well, thank you so much, Ryan. We look forward to having you at our virtual ride and drive and group buy event. So if any of you have questions that weren't covered in this video, join us then and we can get them all answered for you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, thank you.